Well, what's happening? Kari pointing at me like we on set. Kari pointing at me like we on set. We on YouTube. What's up, y'all? This the only podcast that's supposed to start at 8, but don't start to 8:40, man. You know what we love to do here. Detroit is different after dark. We start when we get it all together. Yeah. Sound effects. We got two of them. A real bell and the same DJ that niggas been using since the late 30s. So I'm saying, but we in the building, man. It's the 23rd of February. This month is over with. Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, All-Star Weekend. All the women, loose women have got all this day month. They ran through it. They did their thing and they got to it. They hit all the spots they needed to, and it will be guys having babies with women who they do not care about. You know what I'm saying? But they was just in the right place at the right time. So shout out to all y'all who probably got a baby by Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns. You know what I'm saying? But I got some of my people in the building. You already know Kari, the Barefoot CEO, Frazier in the building.
What's going on? What's going on, people? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Yeah, drug dealer with a soul over there, man. He got the dope boy white Nike hoodie on with the wooden beads around his neck, man. He be walking, he be selling dope like, look, Queen, you ain't supposed to be taking this, but look, huh? What the babies? How the babies doing? I'm about to baby some need, but you buy this. And to my left, I got one of my favorite poets in the world right here. Just entertainers all around. Lovey, what's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Good evening, everybody. LovieDove in the building.
LovieDove is in the building, man. I had a very my weekend was amazing. I had a good time, watched a lot of good TV, drunk, and consumed a lot of my favorite cognac. And I decided I'm finna start calling women Lil Love when I see them out in the world. Like, say Lil Love, like as far as like addressing them.
Lil Love.
Lil Love, like say Lil Love, like you know what I'm saying, as opposed to being like ma'am or baby girl. Like I used to say Miss Lady, but I feel like that's kind of putting a date on me. So it's like say Lil Love, it sounds like I'm from New Orleans.
Okay.
How you feel if a nigga walked up on you and was like, hey, say Lil Love?
Oh, he better call me Lovey.
But he don't know you, Lovey. So it's just his way of getting initial contact, like, hey, say Lil Love. Would you respond to a nigga calling you Lil Love?
Yeah, I think that sounds like real French and sexy, actually.
Nigga,
yes.
Creole.
Yeah. Yes.
What you know, Kari? Boys.
My favorite place in America.
It's New Orleans. That's my favorite place. So, Kari, what about Lil Love? You on the movement?
I don't know.
What you address these women as? When you see them, like you trying to get to them?
I don't know. It depends on the flow. I mean, it's less.
A red shirt. say red shirt.
What's somebody new? What about somebody new, Kari?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and Kari, the man who like I talk to Kari, he be like, I love like talking to girls. Like he really like talking to strangers. Like I like to damn near a girl know what my swag is. So all I got to do is like, what's happening? Kari like to be like, yeah, excuse me, Queen. You still call him Queen?
I never was a queen guy.
I queened him up.
So, like, I mean, usually if the approach nowadays is different, but it would be like whatever's going on. It would be way more conversation about whatever's going on, like almost second person, imply you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if it's the grocery store and we in line and everything, it's like, so you know you want to buy that, that tabloid or something like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like
something like that. So it was always what the situation was more so than.
So you in her bag, you be in her basket like, damn, what you need that Vagisil for? You'll be on that tip.
Yes, exactly.
And nigga Kari like, say the love, what you need that Vagisil for? I ain't never had that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly.
Don't make a mistake and call him Lovey.
That's exactly what I do.
I ain't gonna call nobody Lovey. I call him Love, but I just like say Lil Love because it sounds sweet. It's like, hey, say Lil Love, and she be like, what's going on? Like, shit, what's going on with you? And then I get my little 1-2 on, and then that's what I is. So that's just when I'm on. I just want to put the world on it. If y'all want to do it, the new movement, we call it, but you got to say Lil Love, like say Lil Love or whatever you're going to say to kind of put the conversation in perspective as far as we need it to, okay, boom. Yeah. We tighten it up right here. And shout out to Juwan Howard. He slapped a white man during Black History Month. During the game, he was trying to defend them young boys, and we love to see it. And I wish they, I wish they would have fired that black man.
Ridiculous.
I wish they would have fired that black man.
Ridiculous.
He slapped a white man.
He mushed him, sorta, kinda.
Mush slap, whatever he did.
It was open hand. It was open.
Whatever it was, that's what Sidney Poitier did to that white man.
Right in that movie,
inside and in the garden when that white man said, "Back in the day, I'd have hung you for that." And he's like,
"No, it was completely different. That was like." It was like you reaching over. It was like and it was kind of like more like this type of. It wasn't even like a full like. It didn't have a.
Like I said, 5-5 to the face. He slapped old boy in his face. He won't come crazy no more. Go back to Wisconsin with all that milk and honey. Where the dairy at? We don't even drink that no more. We off almond milk over here. Almond milk and shake. What Africans drink milk? What kind of milk we drink? What's the woke milk plus the drink? Ginger milk,
coconut milk.
We drink coconut milk over here, King. Go back over there with your drinking milk from a cow. What's wrong with y'all? That ain't even from us, or for us, or by us.
You went FUBU with
Coconut
with
is the most alkaline. It's the most alkaline and the healthiest.
And there we go. That's what we offer because we living better. And hey, and how much time we got left in the month? You can slap you a white person today. Juwan Howard kicked it off. If somebody tripping at the job or the grocery store, you talk to a young lady, you like, oh damn, say little love. You got a little Vagisil in there. They like, could you hurry up? Slap him in their face. Juwan Howard said it's cool. Fad to the face. That's how we living. So
do not assault any
right.
Anglo-Saxon people.
What is Anglo-Saxon?
White.
Oh, I thought that was somebody who played the saxophone. I thought you was like Kenny G. I would never put my hands. I would never put my hands on Kenny G.
He's just playing. Do not listen to Josh on that one.
Hey man, we starting a whole movement out here, man. We got 5 days left in this month, unless it's a leap year. Slap a white person if they deserve it. I'm just saying, no innocent white people, but if somebody tripping and they just happen to be white, slap them. And if they mix, thump them.
Or cuss them out if you're not the violent type.
Thump them. You know what I'm saying? Like Dick Gregory said, man. He said, man, we've been marching for years. It's time to do something. If we just start slapping white people, what they gonna do? How much time can they give you in jail for slapping somebody? For real. Corey?
Hey, if you black, they'll give you time for some bullshit.
Okay, so but what's the most you think they can do?
Possibly your life.
Let's just be real, because if you slap somebody, we'll burn this bitch down.
Maybe 90 days? It's a guess.
So let's all do about 3 months in jail. If everybody saw, if it started to be an epidemic of black people slapping white people and that was it, something would change. Like little by little, they'd be like, all right, man, let's get them a little bit more back in their tax return. Like little shit will start changing. Like, all right, bro, we got to chill. They walking around. They not going too crazy, but they slapping the hell out of people. All you see is white people faces red on one side.
With a handprint.
Yeah, just a handprint over there, cuz. Like just one little slap to the face, man. And they be like, say little love, I just had to slap this nigga over here. This white man was tripping. All right, hilarious. We just talking, man.
That sounds so sweet. Sailor love.
I told you the more you said sailor love.
Sailor love. Man, you just made up a new phrase, Josh.
Man, these hoes gonna
ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Come on now.
That's a new phrase.
I'm calling them Lil Love. They was talking about me crazy. And my new nickname is Schoolcraft Twan. I like that. Car. Craft boy. Craft boy Twan. My middle name Antoine. I just need a name.
Craft boy Twan. Shut up, Josh.
Say little love. Show what's your name. Craft boy Twan. All right, listen.
That's too long.
It is, but I like it. I just want a different little name coming into this growth period. I mean, I think Mercury retrograde finna come through. But listen, man, I'm just over here rambling at this point, man. We got Loving the Oh, Kari, we want to jump into okay. So look, Loving Me and Blocking Them is a book that we have an author that's coming on here that's finna chop it up about, and it's a very topic that touches me very closely because I've been dealing with it. I've been on both sides of the game. So, Kari, if you could do a little bit of kicking it about it real quick, and then we jump into that, and then Lovey got a piece she's gonna let us hear, and then we gonna get this lady on here because I can't wait to chop it up about this. I've been excited about this since last week when you told me about it.
All right, so Michelle is the guest and the author of the book, and she also is connected to the podcast family as Brittany that is on Piper Carter's podcast. We know Detroit is Different represent. She reached out to me and said, hey, can I come on Detroit is Different? And then when I saw the title of her book, and I didn't know from what angle she was coming, I said, this has to go on Josh's show. To the point where I told Josh immediately when I saw the title of the book, I took a picture of it and I texted him. Yep. And I'm sure Michelle was thinking like, what's going on? Because like she's talking to me and everything like that. But the title of the book, as you guys see, and we're going to add this to the stream. So everybody's looking right now. It's only a couple more books left on Amazon, as you guys see. Like you gotta be good for this, but it's Loving Me, Blocking Him, a young woman's guide to texting, dating, and breaking up. All right, so this paperback book is Michelle's effort, and then let's look at what the back says. Okay,
it's hard.
All right, so she has let's see, where are we going? Are you focused on others that you lose yourself? Are you so focused on others that you lose yourself? This is a self-help book, speaks directly to today's teenage and young adult women It includes real life scenarios, self-check exercises. So we're going to find out a little bit about that, and opportunities for reflection and re-evaluation about dating, relationships, and self-worth in the age of social media.
Oh boy.
So everything about this is definitely like I say, up Josh's alley, and without any further to do, I'm going to add her to the screen. You wasn't? Okay.
That boy Kari we had a whole plan. You done bust the nut too fast.
Okay.
We was gonna jump
It's
into
exciting.
that, and
It's
then Lovey
exciting.
had her poem. But
Okay.
yeah, you teased it that fast. And Kari was like, let me jump right in. Okay, so the author isn't backstage. Lovey has a piece she's finna do, and then we're gonna jump right in with our special guest to come on here. So give us, okay, here we are again in Lovey's Poetry Corner. Coming to the stage, we have this young lady coming here, man. She's been coming for a few minutes here, for a while here, fellas. And I know a lot of y'all hear her poetry, and you act like you don't like it, but then afterwards y'all be adding to her like, what's her phone number and what's her Instagram, and we want to go home and figure out what's going on. But she's back again by special request. Everybody put your hands together and give it up for Lovey. Give it up for Lovey.
Thank you. I'm gonna get right into it because I'm so excited about this book. I got some questions already. Okay, so the title of this poem is called Him. Excuse me. It says, this is all about him. I was talking all that shit and got my back blew out. I went to the doctor and she said, Lovey, what happened? Your spine is realigned. I said, I know, doc. I finally got some good dick this time. It's not my fault. At first, he was a stranger in my thoughts. Then I told him, don't bring no handcuffs to the bed. That shit is dead. I need you to bring some zip ties and be secure enough to know that I ain't going nowhere. Put this mask on and scare me into a spasm. I'm going to call you the pussy robber because you done stole multiple orgasms. Excuse me. You hit this pussy so good, so wet at the same place, different pace. I squirted so bad that shit reversed and hit me in my face.
That's great.
The dick is beyond excellent. I'll call you my Lord, your excellence, put you on a throne, have you nut on the table, I sniff it up, and that's how I stay stoned. I stay in denial because I don't want to know your wrongs, and you tell me anyway to name just a few. I haven't met no nigga that was worth it, but I signed those divorce papers just for you. I asked you to do 40, but you really went 70. You going to jail because you killed the pussy. Now you got me feeling heavenly. I thought I was the baddest, but the dick is deadly, and now I'm asking God for his Holy Spirit because I don't know what's ahead of me. Pulled out the wetness inside of me. Feels like a slip and slide all the way inside of me. I ain't for no games, but you got me in a mental state. This is not chess, but I feel like I got a checkmate. No, we ain't no virgins, but you got me feeling tailor-made. You so cold and hella bad, the devil tips off his hat. And I want all of that. I see I got a whole jewel. You beat the pussy so good and love me so cruel. I had an orgasm just off your smile. Took it to a whole new level, and all I can say is wow. Times 3, times 4. You snatched my whole body and got this pussy feeling sore. We can pass up the dick because we do that all the time. Fuck the sex and coming, nigga. I'm trying to make you mine. I thought I wanted that slow, sweet loving, so you can call me Anita, but you hit it so good I can't help but scream. Now you call me Aretha, or maybe Mariah, because this pussy whistles so loud. It's hard to daydream and see, but my pussy said no, Lovey. Have him call you Whitney, because that's all the nigga you need. So I already chose you. Not off what you do, but the way you treat me. You feed me, have me so high in erotic city. I changed my definites to maybes because I really am your lady. Fuck Facebook and Instagram. I'll give up all that shit for you. Excuse me, I messed up. Fuck Facebook and Instagram. I'll give all that up for you because that's what a real one gonna do. You provide the peace that I need. Used to be irritated with these other niggas, but you make a woman want to volunteer to get on her knees. And I'm gonna do it like Mary Magdalene. I'm gonna use my tears to clean your feet. Use my hair to dry it up. Use my laughter to fill your cup, and then we still gonna fuck. No need to jump into sex when you already dealing with the best, because she is me and me is she. By the time you realize the nasty, you sprung, asking for forgiveness, making a sacrifice, holding the Jesus piece. That's that piece, y'all.
Damn, Lovey.
So
She said she was gonna snort his nut up off the table.
He said she was gonna wash his feet. You ever washed a man's feet, Lovey?
I have. Yes.
With his tears?
That was for like the sensuality in the
Artistic,
poem. That was for the sensuality of the poem. But I got a nigga thinking like, damn, did she just wow?
Yeah, boy.
You know.
Well, I think we all going to hell after that one.
But I would.
Lovey said, I think she told me about this poem before. She's like, people was kind of like, woo, but I mean, that was, hey, you put some words together. Like, hey, I'm very rarely speechless, and you be coming with some shit. I was like, she said, Mary Magdalene, we don't even know if they was sucking dick like that back in them days. But I mean, we just gonna assume with artistic creativity that we're gonna allow you to take us there, dog. And you know what I'm saying?
Zachary is speechless. I'm laughing. I'm looking at y'all faces and I'm laughing. That's why it's so
I know
funny.
what to expect, man.
But you know, like I made so many references.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about sex when it came to Mary Magdalene. I'm just saying that was a character. I believe in the Bible. That's just but
for sure.
That was just a character in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So Mary, it's several Marys.
And
but
Lovey just said, seriously, I believe in the Bible.
The people watching this like, you don't believe in my God. Not talking that shit. You don't believe in my God.
It was risque.
You come on Women's Month talking that shit.
It was definitely risque, you know. But that's what I wanted to put in my poem. So I said it's gonna be risque, but
you pulled it the fuck off.
Yeah,
you did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they at the Vatican right now. Like, what? Like, I know the people, I know like the FBI agents that like go through our phones while we sleep. Like, what the fuck is she saying? He's showing motherfuckers like, do you see what homegirl talking about? She said, Mary Magdalene, what the fuck is this? Wow, but good shit. Love you again. Like I said, you do your thing every time, and goddamn it, your shit be interesting, and I appreciate it. Now we can get to for the people that's tapping in, that's a little late, that's coming in, man. We have an author coming on, man. She has an amazing book that is made for people in relationships. It's about blocking your ex and loving yourself. And Kari brought this woman to the table, and she wanted to be on the she wanted to just be on the network, and he was like, we're gonna bring her on this platform. So I definitely want her to I want y'all to buy the hell out of this book, and we're gonna have I can't wait to have this conversation. So now, Kari, you can bust that nut.
All right, Michelle, we're gonna welcome you to the podcast. Thank you so much. We definitely got a runway of I guess when it's going right before you block him, because that's definitely pre-block behavior of what Lovey just shared. So I'm guessing the post-block behavior goes in, but she also did drop the gem that I'm ready to sign these divorce papers.
For the nigga?
Basically, you was that's an extramarital affair that you were speaking of.
No. I was just
it's fictional.
I'm telling this person that I would sign I love you so much, like I want you so bad, I'll sign these divorce papers for you.
So what you're saying
is usually when you're signing divorce papers, the marriage is already over.
So what you're saying is that Savannah Pussy wasn't shit and waiting to exhale because he wasn't finna leave his wife.
I mean, most people don't leave their mate for another person. The majority, if we look at the statistics.
Put the camera on me. Exactly. Nigga, well, I'm finna leave you for that anyway, bro. Go ahead, back to Lovey.
All right, so we about to welcome in Michelle.
Thank you for Michelle being on.
Michelle,
hey.
What you say, Michelle?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good. I'm okay. Take it back to Josh.
What's up, Miss Michelle? Thank you for being on here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And please, just Michelle.
Michelle, thank you for being.
I appreciate the respect, but
Michelle's
my name, so that's fine.
You cool. I just got such a respect for you because I think like to be an author, like to just sit down and really put a book down and for it to be like about something like on some self-care type tip. It's like, I gotta like, I talk crazy on podcasts. I'll be trying, I do my little thing to help people, but I feel like you damn near a doctor to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm coming with the respect. So, but I get if you just kicking it, shit, what's happening, Shell? You good?
Hey, Shelly P in the house. I'm doing fine. My name is,
Right.
Just happy to be here with the family, talking about the realities of relationships that go south before they can go north, because sometimes they don't even exist and folks think they're in stuff, and it's just it's a thing.
Most definitely. So is this like, what number book is this? Is this your first, second, third? Like, what is this?
So this is the first in a series. I'm working on 2 other ones now. And the original title of the book was Loving Me, Blocking Him. I changed it to Them because I wanted to be more inclusive, because some brothers gave me some feedback. They said it sounds like I was bashing men, which is not the case at all, but just to make sure that it was more
universal,
easier to embrace, more universal. I just made that quick switch. But yeah, I'm just here to help young women focus on themselves, and that's where we need to start. Like let's get you together. You can't show up with the bike looking for somebody to come to the table with a Rolls Royce. You got to start with, you got to get into it deep into yourself, love you. And then when you show up, you'll have something to bring to yourself first and then to whatever the situation may be.
All right. So the question that I got is, what inspired you to write this? Like, was it like your daughter? Was it your nieces? Was it yourself? Like your friends, people you work with? What was the catalyst to say, all right, I'm giving this advice and I think that things are going left?
Okay. So I, for several years, was an educator. I'm currently back in the media world. I'm working as a chief communications officer for Digital Detroit Media. But prior to coming on board with that team, I taught school, and the drama was just out of control. With
what age we talking?
I'm talking about
like junior high, high school, college,
ages 16 up to young women in college. So 16 to 25. That's the range.
25 is an interesting year for the host. What would you like to say about that?
Shout out to all the 25-year-olds. They love me. You know what I'm saying? God bless you, queens. And I know y'all not watching this, and y'all don't get my text messages because y'all block me. To love yourself. To love yourself. So
well, sometimes it takes that. You know, you gotta drown out the noise so you can pull your own self together.
And I understand it, because like I said, I've definitely done that. Like I've been in a place where I was dealing with an ex and they would still tap back in and whatever. And it was like kind of off-putting, because it's like, is this what you want? It's not what you want. And then like I'm talking about, like I had to block the number, I had to block social media, because it's almost like any mention of them or anything of them was sending me spiraling.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it was one of them things where it's like, so I get why you had to change the title, because it almost come off like, oh, like guys don't go through that. It might be rare, but we do. And it's probably not rare, just a lot of guys ain't man enough. I'll say man enough to talk about, like, hey, cuz I be hurt too. Like I done been through some stuff, but we always want to play it like, oh, we ain't tripping, because a man would be like, man, fuck that, move on. But in reality, it's like, nah, bro, you a little affected by it. Like I done blocked their friends, their mama, their sister, anybody they might know. I don't want you coming across my timeline, because that algorithm want to hurt your soul so bad.
Right. And it's interesting because
she just said right. Now, do you see what I'm dealing with, Shelly? Like niggas like this tell you, like, what you talking about, cuz? Nigga, I got feelings and I was hurt, cuz.
You know what? I love Josh's show because like we get to express stuff, even though we talking to the world, it don't feel like it. You know?
Yeah, we'll be real. It's a safe space. That's like what I want to say.
We all been hurt before. Miss Michelle, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Do you have a target audience for the book?
So it's really been interesting. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Myra Anderson, who is the president and CEO of the Sean Anderson Foundation. She wrote the foreword to my book, and she's been a significant person in my life for many years. So I wanted to acknowledge her first. So the audience is ideally for 16 to 25, but it's for anybody who needs what the book is talking about.
Okay, because
so
I want
to it's not restricted to that demographic. It's for I've had a lot of very seasoned women read the book and say, damn, I should have had that, you know, about 5 years ago, last week, you know, when I was growing up, like whatever.
Okay. So if I want to get into a relationship or someone that's not in a relationship, it's a good read for them.
Yeah, because you know the premise of the book is before you put your heart out there, you slow your roll so you can see what it is you're trying to jump into.
Okay.
A lot of times we will attempt to jump into something before we even have our facts. And then you wind up being caught up emotionally in something that if you would just slow down and like did a real serious analysis, you'd realize that all of that wasn't even worth your time in the first place.
Right. So what would be the first like kind of analysis for somebody that's getting into something to be like, all right, this might not be something I should just fall into, because you know we fall quick, like, you know, this the microwave, like this the air fryer era, like it's like, all right, bet, like I like this person, we have some of the same interests, and like I say, we play about this algorithm. They put people in your timeline and interest and stuff in your face, so that way you find people, like-minded people like you. So it's almost like, damn, we like the same music, we eat the same food, you know what I'm saying? And we get into the same stuff. So what would be something like, what would be one of the first analyses? What would be the first thing that you would do to analyze a person to be like, this ain't the person for me?
2 words: slow down. You got to slow down long enough for a person to show you who they are. See, a lot of times we get caught up in what we think is real,
Mhm.
and it may or may not be. You got to give yourself time with that person for them to show you who they are over the course of time. So week 1, they may be like all that. Week 2, it may be similar. Week 3, if you're paying attention, some of that could be waning and something else could be coming in its place.
Can sex mess that up?
Absolutely.
What if it's good?
Have a good time, but it may not work for you.
I can't do that. See.
I mean, I'm just saying, because sex clouds things.
Yep.
And I'm not judgmental. I just ask a lot of questions like, if that is your pattern, how is that working for you? Is that working for you? Do you know what you want to work for you? See, a lot of this has to do with just knowing who you are. And that's where a lot of us miss the mark. And I say us, because it doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are. If you don't know you, it doesn't really matter where you are on the timeline. You understand what I'm saying?
And it sounds like from 16 to 25, you don't know who you are at that point.
Yeah.
Like you probably done tried everything. You done wore every hairstyle. When you did this, you worked here, you did that, and you don't know who you is, and you out here meeting people, and then you start liking people that everybody around you like. You think like, all right, this is who everybody think we should, they create a concept of somebody like, all right, these are the guys we like, or these are the girls we like, and then that's all you go after. And then the older you get, you like, I kind of hate people like that. You look up and you 30 years old, like, wow, you look at an ex and be like, why was I even dealing with them?
Right.
Well, you know what? Sometimes the opposite is true, because sometimes young women or guys too, because I hear it from both sides, can get locked into a pattern at 16 when it comes to having a specific type. And it continues to not work out for the next 20 years because they're still attracted to that type.
Right.
It isn't a good fit for them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Now you said like good fit and everything. Like, how do you even make an analysis of like when you said slow down, know where you're going, and not knowing what you in? You brought that up a couple of times. How do you not know what you in when in the beginning you just meeting them in the first place? Like, at what point could you not think you just meeting a person?
So you're talking about just having an initial contact where the first thing is always going to be the physical. He looks good, she looks good, he smells good, she smells good. That's usually where the whole attraction starts. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So after you get that feeling of I want to pursue this, as you're getting to know the person, you got to also pay attention to who they're revealing themselves to be. And sometimes you don't know who you're dealing with until time has passed. You're not going to know that person in a week.
Okay, and I agree with that. I often say, chill, slow up, attention, boundaries,
Right.
But what I'm saying is, not knowing what you in, you think that it's people that feel like, it's moving faster or slow. Like, like are people moving faster than what the reality is or something like that? For one, like,
Yeah, they move warp speed without. It's all based on emotion and not logic and reasoning and facts. So in the beginning, and you were just asking about the sex cloud things, absolutely, because that messes you up emotionally. My suggestion, observation is that before you do that, now it depends on what your objectives are. Like the poem we just heard a moment ago, that woman was a boss. The woman that she was talking about, the persona of that woman, she sounded like she was someone who was very clear about what she wanted regardless. That was like, she's really focused on, I'm going for this dude and I'm going to make him and I'm going to feel it. And she's in control of herself. A lot of times young women don't necessarily have a handle on that aspect of who they are. And guys don't always either.
All right. Now, and see, this is what's so weird, even about that poem that she read. Like, I could see how a guy could interpret that because it definitely had a lot of sexual references,
right?
But she also made reference to like, I want to make you your man. Like, that's what started standing out more and more to me. Like it's projecting that, okay, we're in this level of intimacy because I want to be with you beyond this intimacy, like really together. That's what I interpreted. But
there was a blending of both.
Yes,
it was a blending of both. So one aspect of it sounded like, because there are some women who that's all they really, really want, and they're good with that. I mean, there's not a whole lot in my experience, but there's some women who they know what they want, they're okay with whatever that may be, and they're good. Toward the end of the poem, it did shift into something else. So I would have to do a deeper dive into,
Let's take it time out.
Did you say blasphemy? Josh, really?
These are entertainment purposes. I said blasphemy.
You know what?
That's what it shifted to. We was backsliding. But Shell, let me say this though. Because what I got from that poem is that woman was open and wanting to give herself to this man so much, is that as men, we gravitate to that. So if we meet a woman, right, and we even slow down, but she wants to give us all of herself, and it ain't even just sex. It's just, I want to be around you. I want to cook for you. I want to wash your clothes. I want to be everything that a woman is supposed to be for you. And then as a man, you kind of like, you might get that from 4 or 5 different women, and you want that. So as a man, even though we slowing down, let's say I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna have sex with him, but I ain't even gonna say a bunch of women. This one woman is giving herself to me to the point where it's like, she's showing me qualities that this might be somebody that I should mess with long term. How do my analysis work at that point when it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, we spend all this time together. She cool. She's in all what I'm going on. Like, at what point do the real her show up? Or is that just, I mean, yeah, like, that's my question. Like, at what point?
At what point does the real her show up?
Yeah.
So usually, it depends on the age group. So for younger people, if they can just hold off for about a month, they'll begin to see the signs. When you're older and you're more savvy and crafty and you know how to mask things a little bit better, it may take 3 to 6 months.
Resourceful.
I mean, that's just the truth. It may
word.
take 3 to 6 months, sometimes 9, before the real deal starts to come out. Okay.
Ooh, so 9 months. So 9 months.
It could take that long, depending on how sophisticated the person is at masking certain aspects of their personality. And that usually comes with maturity.
Now, you do understand, in 9 months, I'm gonna fuck her, right?
And she may want to do the same.
Yeah. So it's like
your objective and her objective may be different.
So you telling me I'm gonna waste a lot of years trying to find the one, like, not waste, but I'm gonna have to do the due diligence, and it's like 9 months went by, and it's like, ugh.
So what is your objective? What do you want? Are you looking for
I want a wife. I want a wife. I get on here and I talk very crazy and I do a lot of wild things. And I know I come off like I'm just in the streets like that, because I am, but I don't want to stay here. And like, this book is real. Like, and Kari really know me. And y'all, I mean, what I give on here is really me for real. But it's just like listening to the book and all that. And it's like, all right, I'm trying to see what this is, because, okay, just to even flip the narrative real quick. What if you messed up and your ex was like, I don't want to talk to you no more. Let's just not communicate no more. And you wanted to fix it. What are you supposed to do as the person that's being blocked when you like, all right, damn, like, I can't fix this? Like, how do you play that?
What did you do?
Huh?
What did you do?
What'd you say, love?
Well, we know what you did.
What did you do?
The streets.
I mean,
what had happened was, go ahead.
Just a little infidelity.
Just a little infidelity.
Just a little infidelity.
Okay. So here's the thing. Infidelity for a man is different than infidelity for a woman, because we have an emotional attachments that you guys can just go out and hit it and quit it, and it's just like an experience for you.
All that real quick, because you the first woman ever said that on this podcast, and we have about 190 episodes of them saying we can fuck too. It's like, but you understand it's a difference. But not to say we're right for doing it, because it's very wrong. It's very wrong on both ends. But go ahead, continue. Yeah, go ahead, Shell.
I'm just saying that it's a different experience depending on your gender. Okay, your connection with intimacy and ours is just not the same. So, my response to the whole thing about infidelity is, it's really between the two people who had that experience as to how or if it can be resolved. There's some women who will say, that's it, I'm done, I'm out. And there's some who may be open to negotiating, to try to see if we can bring it back around. My thing though is that if it didn't work the first time, unless there's some coming to Jesus moment, it's not going to work the second time.
Yep.
Not going to work the second time.
So you already know basically that person is not the one.
I mean, yeah, what I'm saying. Like,
honestly, Miss Michelle, if somebody cheats on you, well, when it comes to men, like, if you cheated on somebody, can you really say that they're the one? Because I feel like if somebody is like really the one, that you're not going to cheat on them. Am I correct? Or
so that's a good question, and I will say it depends. There are some people. Everybody is human. We all make mistakes, and sometimes it could have been just that time that you got caught up. Now, if it's a pattern, that's a different thing.
Okay.
If it was an incident and you guys can work through it and you can restore the trust, because it's really about being able to restore trust.
Right.
If a guy cheats on a woman and she says, okay, we're going to work it out, but she's always second guessing every time he's out too long, what he says he's doing, she doesn't believe it, then how do you even continue with that?
Exactly.
So is that so in my opinion, that's not really on him, because for one, y'all just said once he cheats, it's a wrap. Now y'all going like, oh well, it depends, because it's all situational and it's about two parties trying to make it work. Because in reality, I always say it's never a death sentence. In my opinion, it shouldn't be. If you mess up one time, that's one time. You understand?
But it's up to the woman though.
I get that, but let me finish this real quick. I'm just saying it's definitely up to her. But what I'm saying is, if a man cheats one time, that's one time. Now, if it's a pattern, it's abuse. Can we agree to say that? Like, if it's a habitual thing where he constantly doing his thing, that's abuse. If he cheats one time and you automatically, okay, and I don't want to get to saying like every guy gonna cheat on you, but it's like if something happens to you once every time, it's like at what point do you just put the work in where you might miss the one? Because we're human. Like, when do you give somebody room to be a human being? If you get what I'm saying.
Clarify that. Just take it a little step further for me, because I'm trying to follow your.
What I'm saying is if a guy cheats,
yes,
in whatever circumstance he cheats, and the woman finds out, or vice versa, the woman cheats,
Right.
and the person finds out, at what point do you be like, human beings are attracted to other people and things happen? How much do I care about this person to be like, you the person I want to build with, I'm willing to work through this because it happened one time?
So the first question would be, what led to that experience?
To you cheating?
Yes.
So do we dig into that? Like, you want to dig into why?
I'm just being rhetorical. You know, what led to that experience? Was it because there was some disharmony? Was it because the woman was pressing up on him? Was it because he was? I mean, what was the situation that led to that experience?
I actually agree with Michelle in the sense of it's always the context of it, because, right. And I'm not necessarily saying it's a right and a wrong way to do everything, as Q Spless said. And I'm definitely not saying to do wrong things, it can be righteous, but I guess I'm double talking because it is a context. Like, sleeping with your sister is different than sleeping with, a woman out in Vegas and I'm on vacation. And I'm not defending the Vegas vacation either, but I think it's still a context of what she means, what the relationship is. Is it a woman I work with or a man I work with? Like, that changes the dynamics to me of how things are. And I guess the pressing thing of where Josh is coming from is, it seems like most times in talking to women, it does seem cheating is almost a deal breaker, but these same women will say, like, if I'm gambling, they don't have a problem. If I'm on drugs, they don't have a problem. If I'm an alcoholic, they don't have a problem. Like, they'll almost work through all these other things that to me would be more harmful in a relationship than if in context, it's like, okay, yeah, I was drunk as hell. It was my homeboy bachelor party. We in Miami. You know what I'm saying? The lap dance went further than I expected. And one of these idiots was on Instagram Live, and she saw like a caption of it because she knew one of my homeboys. But it's, but if I gamble away our family savings, it's often women be like, well, I mean, I can work through that.
You're not giving your body. It's a difference. You're not giving your body. So, money, you can get back money, but once you give, people, some people, they do forgive you, some people they don't. But once you give your body to somebody, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if somebody is gambling, that doesn't pull your heart out. If somebody's an alcoholic, like, that doesn't make you sick to your stomach. To be cheated on, that's like one of the worst things that you could do to somebody.
I've been cheated on a couple times and stayed there. And it really, in context, it wasn't that bad. It's the other stuff to me that has bothered me more. Not the cheating.
Now, I've been cheated on and I stayed and I didn't really forgive him. So I held that on for years and years and years. So I feel like where I'm at now, I just don't think at this moment in my life that I could forgive cheating. If it's a new relationship and you cheated one time, I just feel like I would just be done.
It sounds ego.
Because I went through that when I was younger.
Yeah, it sounds ego driven, but it's just funny to hear it. And we're gonna get off this and get into more like in depth on what the book is about. But it seems like you say that cheating is the worst thing until you in a faithful relationship, and then for some reason he loses his job and now he can't make money. then it becomes the biggest deal where it's like, how are we going to do this? And how are we going to do that?
I've been through that too.
But yeah, real quick. But then it's like, and then he's an alcoholic, and then all his money is on alcohol, and then he's not spending time with you. He more time at the bar. It's like, okay, perfect man is not a cheater until all this other stuff come up, and then it's like, now that's a big deal. So I think y'all kind of pick and choose what it is, like what you don't expect for somebody to deal with. You like alcohol, money, this, that, and the third, until it becomes a problem, and then it becomes the worst thing that you could have possibly done as a man. Like, I've seen that. What you say?
So here's the thing about that. So there are a couple of things. First of all, just really having for real communication with each other. A lot of folks just really don't. We talk at each other. We're real superficial with each other. We don't have real conversations with each other.
That's true.
So that's really where, what are the deal breakers? What are the things that if this happens, and you just have these conversations once you think that you're moving toward the next level, let's talk about what the deal breakers are for you, what the deal breakers are for me. And let's keep it real. The other thing is, what are your weaknesses? So if you know that being in a bar is a weakness for you, you may not want to go to the bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to not put yourself in a situation for those weaknesses to emerge. But communication is huge. We do not talk to each other. We just don't want to go deep. And so it depends on whether you want a relationship, a situationship, or if you're okay being in a you-ship, because those are all three different things.
Yeah, I don't think we do a lot of communicating like in our generation. It's all kind of like
paper thin
kind of conversation.
But I don't think back in the day they were communicating that well either. I think it was other social realities that influence certain things, like especially for women. Women today have more options. Like a man served more of a utilitarian need.
I agree with that.
In the day. So like 60, 70 years ago, it was like, does he go to church and does he have a job? Nowadays, he probably don't go to church and he may not have a job or a job. She has a better job. So like even that premise of what's defined as women say, here go the classic one, she got a, he ain't got a table to bring nothing to, you know what I'm saying? We always hear that. So like, I agree. I think I think part of the communication as men too is, the role we serve is still, we have those same like societal obligations, and whether it's applauded or not applauded. And nowadays, I think it's less applauded. Like our role as men is tougher. Like so part of communicating, I don't even know how to communicate some of the stuff that I may be thinking or going through or what's happening, like right now in like the whole caretaking journey with my family. It's a whole lot, but usually if I open up about it to most people, it'll be like, oh yeah, I went through this and I've been through that and blah 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 blah. So it's a different flow, and I guess strengthening what that looks like, how that feels, and through, I hate to say it, like through sex can come some escapism, some fantasy, and it can be more fun than the woman that's like, I'm really with this woman. I know her mama. I know what her mama going through. I know that she in school. I know she looking to buy this house. The stuff that her baby daddy putting her through. Like I'm not even looking at her. Like sex may be number 150 when I look at her because of all this other stuff that I know she going through. Whereas
it depends on what you want. It depends on what you want. I mean, do you want, and I don't mean you personally, but are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for companionship? Are you looking for, what are you looking for?
I would say this. I mean, the analogy I often use, I've used this on this show too. Like, okay, so like, if I know this woman and we really built, and I know she's working on her master's or something like that, and she got a big paper coming up, even if she make a pass at me, I'm like, all right, let's keep working on note cards and let's do some studying and let's work on your homework. If I just met her and I'm still in that whole physicality, I sort of know she go to school, but I could give less of a damn about that paper that's due tomorrow.
Right.
We don't have sex. Like, it's more like that meeting. It's like, I like liking, but loving is more obligatory. It comes with more, and I feel like women love that part, the intimacy, all of that. Whereas I feel the more that comes, the less the sex even matters. I mean, I got homeboys that's married that sometimes may have sex 5 times a year, and even to bring it back up due to like postpartum depression. Sometimes women I don't have sex because their homegirls aren't having sex. Sometimes women won't have sex because, you know, they gain some weight and they feel like they're not their best self. And as a man, that my homeboys that's married, they just kind of gotta roll with it. Because if they keep bringing it up, it's like, I think like, you know, they deal with the argument of like, I think the only reason you here is because you think about having sex with me. And then it's like, well, you know, I just shut up and I will drift off versus pressing her on this because she is the mother of my kids. And, you know.
Yeah. Well, you said something really powerful. You said that, you know, it's we don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
And that's facts. You know, and beyond that, we don't even communicate with ourselves that well. And that's where the real communication has to start. I got to talk to me first and get a handle on me.
Yeah. So, Shell,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Okay. So put it like this. So, okay. So what if you go ahead and so, you know what I'm saying? To love yourself, you pretty much got to block your ex. But what if your ex already got you blocked? How do I get my lick back?
Josh is crazy.
Why would you want to?
I mean, it's just like, bitch, you got me blocked. Let's do it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, bet. I don't see you. You don't see me.
For real?
I'm just trying to. Actually, I want to write a book called "Spinning the Block: How to Get Your Ex Back After She Blocked You." I want you to help me write that book. So you already got the formula on how to get her back, how to get her away from me. How do we spin the block around and bring her back to the dark side?
See, so my position is, and I'll just rarely talk about me, but I will in this instance. Okay. If it didn't work, why would I try to make it work another time? Like what's gonna make it different?
Sinbad and his wife broke up 100 times and they got back. So I just think, I mean, we always talk about the perfect, okay, I met the one and this what it is, but sometimes you just gotta, it's something about it where you just kind of fight through it.
So that was a draw between them and they made a conscious decision to work through that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you're not gonna help me write this book, is what you're saying. You're not gonna help me write this book.
Absolutely. Your book. I would love to sit down with you and chop it up and help you write your book.
I love it. Black people doing black
but
people.
But I really do have that question about like how do you communicate that? Because I got homeboys going through that. Like, how does a man say we're not having sex, but she gained weight and she's not feeling sexy as herself? How do you even broach that subject as a man?
So that's really hard. It's very, very difficult because that's a very sensitive topic for a woman who has not embraced it herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so first of all, it's kind of like a 12-step program. I gained weight. Why did I gain weight? What can I do to be good with where I am? If I'm not good with where I am, I definitely don't want you coming to me and reminding me that I've got.
Okay, so now during this whole time, and that's so tough. Like, what am I like? I'm just not.
So what are you supposed to do?
Not having sex. Like, I don't even know how a man communicates something like that.
Yeah, it is not easy. And I think that the first thing that the two of them would have to do would be to agree to have uncomfortable conversations. Because the thing about relationships and work are synonymous.
All right, wait, Michelle. Wait, I gotta push back on you right there.
What?
As a man, if I came to a woman and said, let's agree to have an uncomfortable conversation, I see her saying yes. When it gets uncomfortable, when the role reverses,
she start crying.
Yeah, that's in the book.
Start talking.
That's in the book.
She start crying and you turn into a villain and she's the victim. And now you like, I just wanted to let you know that I want to have sex and this is how it makes me feel. But now I'm making you feel crazy because you feel away. I'm letting you know I understand you feel away. I'm just expressing that I would like to participate in vagina in the near future if that's possible.
But Josh, you just said it though. What? Like that was loving, that was affectionate.
But you realize I'm not talking to nobody. And when I am, it'll be like, oh my God.
But you know what? I think Miss Michelle, do you agree that sometimes like you have to go above and beyond when you talking to that lady in your life? Like, do you have to like for me, if somebody was to like get me like a big spread of food, it's easy. I mean, I feel like I'm easy to talk to, but like if you really get me something that I really, really like, it's gonna make me easier to listen to you. So
Mhm.
like if you gotta get some roses or you gotta get some wine or put on something like some real soft jazz music to like lighten the mood and then say, babe, come here, babe. I want to talk to you. You gotta go
So
above and beyond.
I gotta buy shit to talk to you regularly.
Not just buy. I'm not. It's not
'Cause
about
that's what you
spending
just
money.
said.
No, it's not about spending money. It's like
I need you to book Frankie Beverly and Mays, and I need you to light
It's-
fireworks, and I
it's
need to
not
get a
about-
second line parade for me to say to you,
No.
I would like to have
It's
some
a-
vagina.
no, it's
when
about
you
the
feel
e-
like giving it to
No,
me.
it's about the effort. It's about the effort that you put into trying to communicate.
But wait,
with
Lovey,
me.
all right now.
I mean, I know I sound romantic and lovey-dove, but
no, what you sound like is like a lot of times like this is theoretical. When that real conversation is happening, I think whether you got, I don't even know who the best singer, but if you got, Mary J. Blige and yes, he a bad example now, but a great singer, it still doesn't change because what we're talking about is something emotional. So when it's emotional, it's triggered. It don't matter. I think however I run the way. So I feel what Michelle is saying. It's like you got to have the conversation with yourself,
right?
But it's not because like it's just tough. Like what Josh just said, the crying, the shutting down, the shutting up, and then
or giving you some and then laying there like.
Yeah, like Nate in
yeah, you sitting there, and now you feel like a fucking fool, and you like, bro, I'm just about to go leave. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just wild.
And then that starts happening, and now you got this woman at your job that's like, oh, I see what's going on. You go to the gym, you work out a little bit, got a new haircut, she's smiling at you all the time, and it's like, I think I'm about to dip off here.
It's about giving us attention because that happened to me. I'm only speaking on it because I know what happened to me. I used to nag my ex, and he would, once I think he told me, I look fat. That happened to me.
Oh, he an evil nigga then.
And I was pissed.
Right.
Understandable. And it's like I don't think I actually fully forgave him for that, but it's the way that he said it.
Right. 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 And that's part of that communication.
Exactly. Like you can communicate and be honest with somebody, and it's about what you say.
Lovey, women are experts at subtext because it's women that sometimes say, hey, girl, to women. And then they be like, you see how that bitch just talked to me? And you be like, she just said, hey. What? And they be like, nah, it's the way she said, hey. And then it's like, it's no polite way. It's like, I mean, I was thinking like if I come and then I buy you a dress too small or something, whatever it is going to be seen. I think in my mind, and I mean, me and Josh always talk about this. It's like if it's no like one level of villain. When you're a villain as a man, you are the worst man ever. It's not. It seems like it's no because it's the emotions.
You've been lying flat out. It ain't no.
But Kari, you gotta take a risk. It's women, Kari. It's women out there
that risk could keep me away from my kids.
But Kari, it's women out there that don't mind communicating with you and talking to you. Like,
love you. Let me say this.
Okay,
that's just you. All the other women in the world that I've ever dealt with is walking on landmines, and that's from the meekest woman to the strongest, most independent deltas that's running around here. They gonna get at you. You know what I'm saying?
You might need somebody a little bit more experienced.
I wish, you know what I wish, and then we're gonna get back to Shell. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was a simulator where you could be a nigga for 30 days.
No, I get it.
No, you don't. Let me hold on. Let me see, because you won't even let me talk. That's how you don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you could just be a woman, and honestly, I wish you could just be a woman and not even realize that you was dating you, and you'll come out like that bitch was tripping, and then the lady, and then right, like that was you, love it, and you'll be like, what? Because you think it's what it is, but it's just not what it is. But I don't even know where we was at when we was trying to get Shell to say something.
I understand both sides, though. That's all I'm saying. I understand both sides.
What I'm trying to say, Lovey, is it is some shit like it's a couple things that usually be all around some of the, I think the pressures, the anxiety, the depression, because I do believe society puts more pressure on women to fill into an unreachable goal, and that's all women. That's Michelle Obama to the lady that work at Coney Island, and it's more pressure because society definitely is more designed for men. But with that pressure, as the man that you share your intimacy with, it's a lot of stuff that, like, it's been women I've dated where it's like, damn, they doing some shit that really they shouldn't be doing with their kids, but I would never.
Yeah.
in my life question a woman on weight, they kids,
Right.
they wild relationship with their mama. I've been with women where like they will go from calling their mama the most rotten, dirty bitch to you know, I gotta, you know, make sure my mama get home good. And you be sitting there thinking to yourself, this is some chaotic shit.
Right.
But
Right.
you know,
But Miss Michelle, do you think that it's time to hold women accountable? Because I feel like we do get away with a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Don't you think? Yeah, don't you think we should
totally
be held
agree.
accountable?
I totally
Because-
agree. And that's what I was going to say. Like, you know, understand both sides. I think a lot of times brothers get a bad rap. A lot of times we create scenarios and we draw them in and beat them up and spit them out and want to claim victim. And that's not
doing
cool.
the same thing.
That's true. That's not cool at all.
No,
not cool at all. So, you know, the bottom line is, and I know I've said this before, and it may sound like, what is she talking about? You got to be good with you. You got to be good with you. And that's a process. Because in this society, we spend a lot of money decorating the outside so we'll look like we're okay. We'll smell like we're okay. You know, we got the brand. You know, what is your brand? You know, you got somebody else's brand on your, you know what? Who are you and what's your brand?
There you go.
And so, you know, so until we can, like I always say, strip down to nothing, stand in the mirror and deal with who you are.
Right.
That's why I'm in the gym. I look good naked, not shit.
And Miss Michelle, you know what?
I'm in the gym. I just came from the gym. Michelle, so I want to ask you this. Speaking of the gym, what kind of exercises are in this book that has to do with, like, you know what I'm saying, loving yourself more and blocking cuz or blocking auntie?
So it's the self-check. It's getting real with you. It's looking at different scenarios that are interspersed throughout the book. And just by the way, you know, there are segments throughout the book that actually say what guys have to say, because I didn't want it to be a book that didn't have a man's voice. Because a lot of times you guys try to communicate to women, and because of everything we're talking about now, we can't receive what you're trying to say. So the book is kind of like a filter. So that some of the things, like, for example, you know, you're trying to end a relationship because it's not working. She senses it. She breaks out in tears. You feel guilty and you stay. You don't want to be there. And she shouldn't want you to be there if you don't want to be there. But she doesn't want to be by herself. So rather than deal with that, she'll just get all emotional to keep you sucked into a situation that is not healthy for either of you. So there are exercises throughout the book that have scenarios, and then what would you do in this situation? What do you think about her response in this situation? It talks about,
is this specific situations in the book, or is these just like?
Oh yeah. They're very specific. I can't make this stuff up. Real situations.
Can you give at least one or two scenarios? One that Josh will answer for a man, and then one that Lovie will answer for a woman's perspective, their perspective of what they would do.
Okay, so here's a scenario. This is a true story.
Okay.
A young man came to me and he said, you know, Miss P, because that's, you know, that's not pushing P, that's just Miss P, because my last name is Parizon. So just want to clarify that. He said, I think I'm gonna have to fake my own death. He was so serious. Kari, I told you this when I was with you the other day, and I said, what's going on? He said, this woman, she thinks we're in a relationship. We're not in a relationship. We've never been in a relationship, but she's calling me, telling me happy anniversary. She's coming to my job.
Wow.
You know, she's hanging out with my family when I'm not there. So that's a real scenario.
Yeah.
Now, there is a question that I asked to give me insight into why that scenario was real for him. And what do you think that was? What do you think he did that may have led to that experience for him?
He came in her.
Yep.
Boy, tell me something, nigga. If this was Family Feud, I'm like, he came in her. Like, Steve, you know
that's it. So if you're not interested in a woman for real, you're not interested in a woman, and she keeps on pushing you, but you really aren't interested in her, walk away. Like why are you dealing with somebody you don't want to deal with just for that?
Because someone's she wild. Okay, because she's unstable enough to let me come in her.
Okay, and so whose responsibility is that?
Planned Parenthood. All right, Lovie, what's your response? What's up, Riri?
No, she said she had another scenario for me.
Yeah, that's what she Lovie.
So that was the one for a guy. Okay.
Okay.
Now, for a woman, you dealing with this brother, you love him, you want to be with him, and he's always busy. He cancels plans. He shows up when it's convenient, and when he does, you're so excited you just throw all the other times that he didn't show up out the window.
Right.
How do you? What is your insight into that? Do you just kind of say, well, I know he's really busy. He's working, he's in school. He's got a lot going on with his family. I mean, do you just accept that, or do you look at it from a different perspective?
Okay, so I have been in a situation. So I would say the old Nadia, the old Lovey, I will make excuses for him. But I feel like this new Lovey, after I've been through so much and I got so many experiences and I've been through that, I would have to tell him, I don't think this relationship is a good fit. And I'm only saying that because I had to say that to somebody last week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because if somebody really, truly, truly wanted to make time for you, it's nothing that would stop them from calling you, texting you, messaging you, Facebook, Instagram, DM, something. You are going to contact that person
Absolutely
on a regular basis, and that's just what it is.
Because people do what they want to do, and in the book I talk about men putting women on ice.
Right.
They want you, but they just don't want you right now.
Right.
So they do just enough to keep you there, so they can do whatever they want to do, and they check in to make sure you're still there. And once they know you're good, then they go and do whatever else they want to do, and there's a pattern to that.
That's true.
That
was
true. Like I felt like that was a gut punch.
No, it was true. And I was finna say, the weak shit, women do it, but no, men do it. And the funny thing about a man is we kind of feel when y'all moving on. So it's like,
yes,
I probably ain't talked to you in 6 months, and I'll be sitting there like, I ain't heard from Lovey in a minute. And then a call and be like, hey, what you got going on? Because we can feel it. It's weird. And it's soul ties.
They can.
It's very weird. We all tapped into the same source. Right. So we can kind of feel it like, damn, I usually hear from her text and, send a tap in and we have a conversation, but I ain't heard from her like 3-4 days. She done went out with a little nigga. And I don't know if this is in your book, but like they dudes will be on your social media and kind of see you got something going on and see you out on dates and kicking it, then tap back in and knock cuz off track. And then next thing you know, he back up and you raw. You know what I'm saying? And now you looking crazy.
Absolutely.
All right, but let me say this though. In defense of that, as somebody that does a whole lot, I do recognize like, well, I guess maybe it could be the projects I'm working on. Cause like I've often heard that really probably the past 10 years, the whole people make time for what they want to make time for, which is true, but that negates the fact of what I've been working on already for the past 15 years. I like that time is executing. Like, I don't know, like sometimes it take a lot.
Let me push back on this young black man real quick. Kari, this ain't got nothing to do with you. We talking about guys who really truly don't make time for you. So if you was kicking it with a woman who really was into you, she would understand that you busy, and the time that you spend with her would be more appreciated because she like, I know you could be doing anything else. So you're not the guy they talking about. They talking about the nigga who like, he kicking it with another little chick, or he kicking it with his homeboy when he could be spending time with this girl that he making feel like he making her feel like you somebody important to me, but he not. So this ain't got nothing to do with you.
So basically it's running game, but I think it can run concurrent. So what you saying is my man that's dirty macking, because basically he's propositioning himself, and then that's what's tough too, because I'm an entrepreneur is what most men say. I got basically I'm doing podcasts. That's something else a man would say. I do basically almost like everything I do is like part of that game. I'm doing some events. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But they're really not actively doing that. Right. But I also, just as that man that is actively doing that, it's kind of tough because in the dating world, it does take effort, time, and attention and capacity. That's where I always say the back end. And definitely along the way, it's definitely been women that's like, look, I like you, Kari. Yeah. They leave, and it's just, I appreciate the adult conversation, and it is what it is. Like, I understand it really from both angles. For the dude that's dirty macking, it definitely is worse. But
he ain't even got to pretend he no entrepreneur. He just not giving her the time because in reality, no matter how busy you is, you make time for the things that's important.
Absolutely.
So, Kari, with you. Go ahead.
And I was gonna say, and Kari, if it's somebody, it's no way in the world that I could even believe if it's somebody that you really truly like, somebody that you really want, regardless of what you're doing,
even if it's a text, hey babe, I got a busy day today. I'll try to catch up with you tonight, but right before I go to bed. You're gonna find some type of way to contact that woman, is regardless of how busy you are.
And see, this is where
it depends on your level of likeness.
I would say I believe people trust, and this is my own pathology and thinking.
Okay.
People trust patterns.
Okay.
So they're gonna trust the pattern of behavior. So if I build a pattern of behavior where I spend, I meet you and then it's like, let's do something this weekend and next weekend and next weekend. Now I all of a sudden stop. Even if I let you know, hey, I'm about to be out of town working or whatever the pattern is, I need to continue with that pattern. So sometimes definitely it is possibly open moments where I really am rocking with a woman, but I know where my patterns will go, and I don't want to establish a pattern that I know I'm not going to be able to keep up. I feel like whatever I establish, I'm going to keep in that rhythm, because if not, then it's going to be looking like I'm not solid.
But that's not good either, because not all patterns are healthy. Like, cheaters have patterns. You know what I'm saying? So, but do you welcome the woman into your world? Because if you're on your grind and she's on her grind, at some point in time, you've got to figure out how to give each other a glimpse into what you're doing when you're not with that person. You just have to be inclusive. If you're only talking about I'm busy, I'll catch you next week, then there's no way to legitimize that. But when you invite her into your space for her to see some of what you're doing, then it gives you more credibility.
So that comes down to communicating again.
Absolutely. And the same with her, because you need to have a woman who's on her grind too, who wants to be on his grind, and she's got all kinds of free time, or vice versa. That's so crazy. I just think sometimes you be off. Sometimes people just be off. Like, we just don't be on the same page sometimes. Because that definitely happened to me, where she had a bunch of free time and I just didn't. And I'm like, I'm making time for you, but then when you sitting at the house and you just done studying and you ain't got nothing going on, what you doing? And then you call me. It's like, I'm at work. I went to the gym. I got a show. I got kids. I'm dealing. I got a lot going on. So it's like, I'm making time, but to them, when they got all this time and they just sitting around, the idle mind is the devil's playground. So what else in the book that we not hitting that you might want to touch on?
I got a question too.
Yes, Miss Lovey.
Oh, go ahead. What's your question?
Miss Michelle, can I give you a scenario?
Sure.
Okay, so
he married, Lovey. It don't matter.
Stop it, Josh. I don't mess with no married men.
No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Don't pay him no attention, Miss Michelle. This is like so juicy. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, so Miss Michelle,
block him. That's all she gonna say. She not gonna say love the nigga work with him. She gonna say no. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm doing it for real. Go ahead and answer the question. I'm done. I'm playing. My bad.
When it comes to red flags, what if you feel like this person has potential, but you do see some red flags? Like, how long do you give them to get over those red flags if you talk to them about it? It was this person that I liked, and I noticed that he would call me and he would be intoxicated. And I felt like I don't want to deal. So stupid. They so crazy.
This niggas on heroin.
He was intoxicated. And I felt like, okay, I told him, I'm like, I don't like talking to you. I told him, I said, don't call me when you are drunk, because I know that I don't want to deal with no alcoholics.
I was like, you get pussy when I'm drunk.
And then I noticed the second red flag. He got upset with a family member and he went on Facebook and he made a post about them. He didn't say their name per se, but he told me this is who I was talking about. And I told him, I said, if it ever comes to the point where you get upset with me, if you treat your family members like this, and that's somebody that you love and care about, that's a family, brother, sister, whoever it is. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the point where you get mad at me, you're going to do the same thing. And I said, I don't play that, going to Facebook and Instagram, putting up memes and making some, giving subliminal hints that you're upset with your partner.
Right. So to that, I would say two things. Number one, what are the non-negotiables? And number two, when a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Okay.
And you know what? He's showing you.
Okay. So I did do the right thing. because
Absolutely.
he had a great personality. I had a lot of fun with him, but I told him, I just texted him. I said, I don't think we are a good fit for a relationship. I said, we can continue as associates and hopefully it will grow into a friendship.
She's
But
still
that-
fucking with that nigga.
No, I'm not. No.
She just said, like, I just texted the nigga 2 minutes ago.
You hear
You
decide whether do you want a relationship or a project? Because
Ooh.
that sounds more like a project.
Exactly. And you know what? And the third red flag was he told me that he didn't have peace in his life. And I told him, I said, it's very peaceful and quiet in my life.
Right.
He's
right.
steady trying to talk
So-
this nigga back in her life.
Stop
Shell, do
it.
you hear this?
Josh,
The nigga
stop.
said,
No,
I don't
I'm
have
not.
no peace. She like, but
No.
I'm peace.
No. You know what he did? He tried to play some mind games, but I got his ass. So he called me and he said, man, Nada, I see how you be having these niggas gone because you ain't text me or call me, man. You play mind games worse than a nigga. I said, I wasn't playing no mind games. And he was like, well, you dumped me. I said, sweetie, how can I dump you when we wasn't in a relationship?
So I just have one question. It's rhetorical. You don't have to ask.
Okay.
Why are you still talking to him?
He was just cool.
But you answered anyway.
I don't have an interest in him no more.
It's rhetorical.
And
'Cause
really,
it was- yeah,
Michelle,
it was
this is my thought process
Really,
as a
just
man.
cool.
If a woman mentions a man,
Mhm.
like if I'm as a man, if I'm in her thought process and psyche,
That nigga ain't.
No, but you know what? I felt like
Hey, Michelle,
What?
Shell, I'm gonna buy one of them books. I'm gonna get her.
I'm gonna buy my own book first.
Well, I'm
of
gonna
all.
buy you
I'm
two
gonna
of
buy
them.
my own book.
Can we get a
No.
Spanish version?
You know what? I can't stand Josh.
See
No, but
that?
you know what? I'm
No.
proud of myself. I'm talking about it because I fuck with Kari and Josh, and I'm just being real with them.
Yeah.
Right.
But if this was 5 years ago, I know I would have made a bad decision. But I'm so proud of myself that I stood up for
Good for
myself
you.
and I did the right thing. Like seriously.
Yeah, and that's what you do when you are in harmony with yourself and you know what your worth is and you know how you want to invest your time and whether or not you want a project or a relationship.
Right.
You have to know what you want for you and stand in the power of that.
And that's beautiful. And Shell, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So can we get you come back on next month when she start fucking back with that nigga and we can talk about this again?
Josh, you know what?
When she sit
Anyway.
here like, I don't know what's going on. I was drinking this wine, and he started talking to me about like he's sad and he want to kill himself. So I
Josh
just
do
had to
this
go
me
over
every
there
show.
because
this
Lovey,
every
this is what I'm
show. He
saying,
does
and this
this
coming
to me
from
every
brother.
show.
This coming from somebody. Fuck what you want to see you in. I'm just hearing the way you and Kari here, the way you talking about the nigga. He not out your system yet, but it's like
He wasn't in my system though.
he in it though. And
No,
but you're
it's
not
a
hearing it.
scenario.
But you're not. This not
But
a
I'm
scenario. This
being
real
honest with you,
life. And you
Josh.
are. So it's not a scenario. This really happening. And I can hear you being like, he said he ain't no peace. Okay, if he ain't got no peace, what did you need to tell that nigga? I can be your peace for because you in his life.
No. I said I have peace in my life.
Oh,
yeah, I told him.
It sounds like you was gonna give him a piece of your peace, though.
No. I told him. I said I have peace in my life. So you can't come in my. I told him you can't come in my life. I'm not gonna let anybody come and disrupt my peace.
That's
Good for
real.
you.
And look at this,
Quiet.
loving me and blocking them. Let's practice that right there.
Yes.
We on that. We on that
yes.
tip. So, Shell, something in the book we ain't touched on yet because I want to hear like we might have missed some stuff.
Okay, so one has to do with people who just have to have drama in their lives in order to be able to function.
Mm.
Like
I'm gonna say this, and I could be wrong. And me and Kari always talk about this.
I will definitely concur. Probably
We seem like this is what women run off of. Not Lovey, of course, she's gonna say not her, but most women run off of drama in their life in some type of capacity, whether it's the man they're dealing with, some at the job that's going on, some in their family. I mean, guys come with drama, but we are very simple creatures. Like I know women who are angry all the time. I'm angry when when a man get angry. Something got to happen. Somebody going to jail, to the funeral home, or going to the hospital. Women are like every day. Like I can text somebody right now and they be like, I can't believe my daddy. It's always something. So please, can you just elaborate? I know we wrong and we biased and we are misogynistic. We terrible niggas. We misogynistic. But please.
So yeah, in the book I talk about people who have their own personal cloud of drama queens, but they're drama kings too.
Yep.
I mean, and so it goes both ways. It's not always about a woman being overly dramatic. There are some men who are just looking for an opportunity to blow up because they have so much internal strife and just we've all been through something, and not everybody manages their stuff in a healthy way. So it can go both ways. One of them has to do, and in the same part of the book, it has to do with knowing what your triggers are, so you can manage your triggers.
Ooh,
You
man,
know,
see you a
paying,
trick.
and again, that goes back to paying attention to yourself and knowing you.
You
If
know-
I know that talking to a certain person, I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
and you constantly bring something out of me that is not going to keep me in a place of peace, as we were just talking about, I probably don't need to spend time around you because I know what's going to happen, because it happens consistently every time we're together. So I just have to, like, hey, how are you? And keep it moving, not
Can I
engage you.
can I ask you this?
Sure.
A lot of the times when stuff don't work, is it because the person is a narcissist?
Not always.
Okay.
Sometimes things don't work because the person is not ready for it to work.
Or they just not compatible, right?
They're just not compatible. You're not ready. That's why I was asking earlier on, do you want a relationship? And if you do, why? What is your reason for wanting to be in a relationship?
Can I ask this question? Like, working, like, sometimes you may be together for a year, you may be together for a year and a half, like, and that worked. And like, I guess I don't look at it like a zero-sum game if we don't end up like, you know, the Huxtables on TV. Like, sometimes it can work and we was together.
We didn't waste our time.
Yeah, like when did how, I guess that's the other thing as a man, that it seems like women feel like I'm either wasting my time because we not married and I don't got kids and we ain't got our mansion and a picket fence and a dog, or you know what I'm saying? Like, is that not working? Like, what defines not working? I guess that's my question.
When it doesn't work. So what works for you, I'm just saying, you know, I'm looking at me kind of like I'm crazy. So women, we have the biological clock thing, number one. And most women, many women, I won't say most, really do want to have children at some point. So the longer I'm waiting to be able to do that with somebody that I'm investing time in, the older I'm getting, and it affects the possibilities of the outcome that I'm looking for. Men don't have that mindset. You guys can have a baby when you're 70 years old. So it's a relative thing. Time means one thing to you, or doesn't mean one thing to you, and it might mean everything to us. It's just our respective approaches to a relationship. We, a lot of times, tend to go relationship thinking before you have even had a thought about that. You're just chilling and hanging out and just, you know, you're good.
I'm getting to know who you are. Like, definitely even removing sex from the table. So like,
absolutely.
So from this, and I've thought like this before, and then women have also pushed back on this because this kind of goes into what Josh was saying. So what you're saying is a man should pre-assume that if I'm engaging with a woman, her mind is the altar and children are the destination.
I think that in a lot of cases, not always, because I'm not omnipotent, but in a lot of cases, you may want to go in with that assumption.
And Kari, and the funny thing about it, Kari is always willing to say, because if a woman has sex with you on the first night, she should, because I am a nigga that's worth fucking with. So if a girl is kicking it with you, you're a guy worth dealing with. She wants to deal with you beyond that. Like, you just not a regular guy. Like, women look at you and be like, okay, this is somebody who, I honestly think that they look at you and be like, okay, he's somebody I can build with when they kicking it with you. That's what I believe. So that's why you got to go into it thinking that way.
I got you, but I don't necessarily always think like if we don't get to the destination of marriage, because like, okay, we may be checking off like the personal boxes. So when I think of marriage includes families. Marriage includes like life-term plans. We may be great at dating. We may like the same restaurants, talking, hanging around each other. We may have a good sex life. But now when we start even thinking about, all right, how will our families mesh? That may be the thing that hits the wall where it's like, we're not going to work there. But I still feel like this was a good relationship because we got along, but we didn't get to that destination, especially right now. I hate to bring up more of this family stuff, but I mean, at my age now, I'm transitioning to more of a I have more influence and I'm more relied upon. So I can only imagine in a marriage, I'm not saying it would be like a shared space with my wife, but for lack of better terms, it's gonna be like a shared space.
A lot of people calling on you. A lot of people gonna be putting on you to do stuff when she needs you. But I mean, that's just what you gotta kind of come to, Kari. You a good dude.
That's part of a partnership.
Yeah, you're an entrepreneur. You wear wooden jewelry, nigga. Like, why wouldn't a woman want to fuck with you? Cause like, you know what
I'm saying, but in her mind, her vision of where she wants a marriage to be, especially, I don't know if y'all ever dated like a single child. And their setup is a little bit different of even how they orient themselves around family. Some of those things that you don't even think are things become things because of I don't like background, our perspective, our bias that we naturally go into things with. And that's where I'm saying, like, if like, I don't always look at it like marriage is the end
game. Right.
And then you don't always have to marry somebody, the first person that you date either, you know?
Absolutely.
Like for me, Michelle, like I want a baby. I want a daughter. Like that's like my wish. That's what I want. So wouldn't that be me wasting my time if I was to talk to someone who didn't want kids or who didn't want any more kids?
So it depends. I mean, there's some women who want to have a baby and they have one because it's what they want, and they are cool enough within themselves to do that and be responsible for whatever comes as a result. I mean, that's real. There's some women who I just want to have a baby, and if it works out, and they're cool with that. If you want more than just the baby, then that's something for you to consider. Okay. Like if you really want to be in a relationship, and that's why I keep saying, do you want to be in a relationship and why? And what does it look like to you? And what does it look like to him? And like what Kari was saying, you know, Kari, you are a very analytical, deep thinker, and you are a big picture person. Not everybody goes that deep and goes that far. They just want to have that experience of being able to say, I am Mrs. Blah, blah, blah. And I have X number of children. And it's just part of their persona. And I'm not throwing shade or anything against anyone who wants to do that. Just understand that that's what you're doing.
Right.
Understand that that's what you're doing. And that's where we keep missing the mark. It's like women who've been married for, I don't know, however long. They've been miserable for 20 years. You're not happy. But you stay because you want to be able to say you are Mr. So-and-so.
Right. Trying to keep up a name.
Yes, absolutely. And if that's what you want to do, that's your business. Just understand that that's what you're doing.
Well, I got this question, Michelle. Like, I also know from those couples that have been together 40, 50 years, it's going to be some swings where it's like, you know, it may be like a separation in that mix. But one of the things I think with the strongest couples I know, they have, I guess this goes back to communication. They have a bond that is them. And you can tell, they going through some shit, but that's still a them unit. And some of it look backwards as hell from the outside looking in, but it makes sense to them. So when you say like miserable for 30, 20 years, I can interpret that as like, it's back to that villain complex. When a woman's mad at me, I'm hated. But when she love me, I'm Superman. Like we often talk about this. Like, you know, you can be Superman
or Lex Luthor.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. It's like, it seems like it's like no, you know.
But that's not what
is. What Kari's saying is, should he start dating niggas? Like, you know, just to balance out.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
Like, you women tripping. I shall find me another nigga to bang wooden jury up against each other's chest.
I feel like Kari be trying to keep one step ahead, and sometimes it's not always going to be like
he
that.
He think too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you think about that, Shell? That Kari might be overthinking everything.
So sometimes overthinking is a mechanism to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
But in love, ain't you supposed to open yourself up to be hurt? That's the beautiful part about it, that this person won't hurt you.
So you said, aren't you supposed to? Like, that's one of the rules. And
to be vulnerable. Like, Kari don't allow himself to be vulnerable.
Well, so he's putting up a wall so that he won't get hurt.
He's shaking his head, but Kari don't love these hoes. And I'm gonna just tell you that now. I don't know how long you know him, and excuse my vernacular, but he don't. He love books, he love money, he loves podcasts, he loves growing vegetables and stuff. But as far as women go, Kari don't, you know,
relationships aren't for everybody. Like if you know that you can't commit past a year or 2 or 3, just be honest with yourself and be honest with the person that you're picking it with.
I respect that. So
no, I mean, and maybe it's not for him.
No, I respect that. Like, we just playing with it. So what other things? So we went from triggering. What else in the book? I wish I could have got a chance to read the book, because I hate that I don't.
Reality TV is not your reality.
Oh, yes.
Ooh,
yes. You don't have to twerk it to work it.
You got twerk, though. Wait a minute. Hold on now. I'm gonna push back on that one. What you mean you ain't got to twerk to work?
You don't have to twerk it to work it. Like, you don't have to put it out there like that to get the results that you want.
In a relationship, or trying to get somebody?
Trying to attract somebody to get them to want to be with you.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
I agree with that
That's true.
because
Okay.
oftentimes, and we've talked about this, Josh, and it's funny. Like, I mean, Josh is a comedian, so for most people,
I'm a
as
man
he
first,
joke about
cuz.
stuff, I mean, I'm a man.
I'm a man first. I'm a father
Okay, so
second.
as he joke, I don't ever take a lot of this stuff personal. But
Right.
one of the things we do talk about that is real, and I think we talked about this on this show that I've learned. A lot of times the women that dress more sexually explicit, more like, you know, as they say, more freeing and present themselves more lustfully
Mhm.
in like an intimate setting, like one-on-one, they're the most
They ain't about that shit for real.
they're the most timid, trepidatious, and uncomfortable about it. Like, even especially with clothing, like sometimes a woman will wear like a skirt that just like goes right past,
I know
you
you're
know what I'm
talking
saying,
about.
where it's at,
Good
and
man.
then the whole night they'll sit in the corner and pull it down, and you know what I'm saying, like the see-through shirt where you can see her nipples and
Right.
she covering up the whole time,
Shout
and
out
it's
to
like
y'all.
you're not really comfortable in this,
Right.
but you're doing this for the attention, but it ain't. It's like you're not even you're not appreciating the attention that's happening. Like so sometimes that whole twerk it to work it, I agree with you. Like a lot of times the women twerking it to work it are like, I believe that the sex will draw him in, but in reality it makes you feel like, well, damn, kind of like how men may feel like he only want me for my sex, how men may feel with money, like I'm flashing the dudes that flash money all day, and then it's like, man, she just want me for my goddamn money. And
Right.
it's like,
Right.
well, you presented yourself
Right. That's what
as if
Absolutely.
that's all you
That's a
doing.
trick, man.
So what else is she supposed to unpack beyond the money you flashing?
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. Very true.
So
Very
you don't have to, like, ladies, you don't have to put it on out there. Sometimes you can be just as sexy with, you know, and we can see it.
Whatever,
You know,
yeah.
you don't leave something to the imagination. But when it comes down to it, please twerk some. Like, let's not get
private,
that
in
confused.
private.
It comes a little bit later.
On the social
later.
media. It doesn't have to be on
A little
social
bit later.
media.
And it ain't got to be in private. Sometimes on the balcony, if we out in, you know what I'm saying, doing what we doing, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
let's be adventurous and let's love on each other.
Yeah, you
All
can
right,
do that
so
with your dude.
twerk it to work it. What other things?
Another one is your life an open book? So sometimes you just kind of talking a little bit too much. You talk a little bit too much too soon. Like if I meet a guy and on the first night I know everything there is to know, there's no need for me to talk to you tomorrow.
That's not a good thing. Transparency.
There's a difference between being transparent and trying to get everything in one date or opportunity or experience. Like just
speed date.
there needs to be some sort of intrigue, mystery, something. Like I don't want to hear all that in one night. And that doesn't mean that you're not being transparent. It just means that because if you're telling, and these are lessons again that I learned from Myra and my mom and my aunts, a person who tells that much of their business the first time they meet you or early on will tell your business too.
Oh, Miss Michelle, I had a quick question, or basically a comment. So when men come and ask me what type of man are you looking for, I never go into detail, because all you're going to do is take what I said and try and be that person just so you can get into my life or be around me or whatever your motive is. So I always say, I think I know him. I'll know him when I see him.
Absolutely. Time will tell.
Yep, that's what I say.
Time will tell.
Damn, I couldn't even get her.
Absolutely.
How you know that nigga just didn't want to know what's up with you? Why you gotta be a villain that fast? Maybe he just want to get to know you.
No, it's definitely not a villain. I can get to know you, but you're not supposed to give somebody everything.
So when you say that to a nigga, do he be like, damn, I can't get that?
Because they try to fit that profile.
What kind of evil niggas is walking around twirling their mustache like,
and in all honesty, women do it too.
Right.
And you know, a woman finds out that you're into sports and you're into this and you're into that, and all of a sudden she's into football and it's not real. She's into basketball and it's not real.
Exactly.
So that's why I said, time is the great equalizer. You need to take your time. Folks will show you who they are over the course of time, but you have to pay attention to what you see. You got to slow your roll.
Got to give them enough rope to hang themselves.
Not hang themselves, but to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't had no girl be like, what's your favorite basketball team? And then try to, you know what I'm saying? But guys are simple. You don't have to do that. You just have to be like, I like you, and it's like that's all I needed. Like
Be
you,
yourself.
you ain't got to break us down. But I think women do that a lot, and I tell like women in my life that I care about, like, listen, stop telling people about your last relationship, because all that nigga gonna do is try to beat the high score. He not
Yep.
gonna try to be a real nigga. He gonna be like, what wasn't he doing? All right, bet. That's what I'm gonna do to make sure I can get at least as far as that nigga did.
Right.
So it's like, stop telling niggas all your. Every time I meet a girl, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he didn't do that, and I'm thinking like, bitch, I'm gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's just, you know what I'm saying? We all kind of run off the same software, but
And that was that experience.
yes.
So you have
Every
to know
experience is
how to not bring that forward. Like what happened with, you know, Jamal or whoever, that was your experience with him because it was based on what both of you brought to that table. When you move on to a different table, you're going to have a different set of items on the menu because it's a different person with a different experience.
Right.
You understand? I mean, you're still coming, but what they bring is going to be different from the previous person. So you can't always hold on to the old stuff and bring it into the new because it's going to be a different experience with the new person.
So when I like, so if I get into another relationship, I shouldn't mention that I cheated on my last girl. That way I got a clean slate.
What would be the purpose of sharing that information?
Because, you know, they be like, why you and your last girl didn't work out? And then you be like, you know, it just didn't work out.
I made
Not
some bad
compatible.
decisions.
That's
I
gonna
made
make
some
a
bad
difference.
decisions.
And that's
Yeah.
it. Because you know, because then I come with it, you know, it's almost like being a felon. They like,
No,
nigga, if you're gonna be around money, we need to know what you did. Like, so
No, but Josh, but you know, he's so crazy. You know,
and
what?
again,
But it's not a job interview.
and again, listen, I don't think cheating is cool. I don't think it's funny. I fucked up. She be watching the show sometimes, so I be having to just like, you know what I'm saying, just in case she watching. Because
don't beg, Josh.
Don't beg.
Don't beg.
I ain't beg. I'm just
Okay.
telling her what it is. I ain't gonna beg for nothing.
If
like,
she
you know
not
what
the
I'm saying?
person for you, she not the person for you.
I'm just making it clear that I hurt a person I care about, and I don't want them to think that I'm making fun and making light of a situation.
Mhm.
I cheated on every woman I was with, and I apologize to all y'all. I was young, I was dumb. You know what I'm saying?
You see,
But
give
what
us
I'm
too
saying
much.
is, but if the next girl watched the podcast,
right,
she
she
gonna
gonna
know.
say he gonna cheat
But
on me.
whatever, you know what I'm saying? That was my past, and if you judge me, you probably wasn't meant to be experiencing what's gonna happen with me anyway, Queen. I'm sorry for you, little love. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, you made some mistakes. You're human, and you learn from your experiences. I mean, like we all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. You know, everybody should be extended some grace, but just man
Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, Shell.
or woman up, huh?
Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce.
That's Jay-Z. I mean, and what didn't make it right, but I'm just saying that goes to show that if Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, anybody can find themselves in that situation.
And she stayed though. So why are we not preaching this other shit?
They were separated.
Well, you know, Hillary stayed with Bill too. I mean, like that's the thing between them that is really nobody.
You saying I ain't good as these niggas? That's what y'all telling me.
No, don't compare yourself to other relationships.
Absolutely. That's
Obama cheated on Michelle. They don't talk about that.
Josh, don't be saying. Josh,
you didn't see it. All right, we ain't even talk about it. Nancy Pelosi.
Whatever. That's their business, and who are we to judge anybody's relationship?
Exactly, but I'm just trying to tell these women, if Beyonce can get cheated on and they make an album,
it's about the character. It's not about the person. It's about the character.
I think y'all got it fucked up. We need to start doing what these rich people doing. We down here broke as hell, breaking up with each other, missing our blessings. But I don't want to eat too much of the book up because I want people to buy it and go like everybody that's on here that's gonna see this after the fact. Please go get this book.
I can't wait to buy it.
And Lovey need to get it. And I want the audio version of it. I want to say Lovey name in it like Lovey, leave the nigga alone.
Stop it, John.
Can I do the audio version for her?
Why do I need it? Shouldn't we all need it?
I mean,
want to buy it.
But then she also says she gonna help me write the book that challenges that book, How to Spin the Block and Get Your Ex Back. It's gonna be called it's gonna be called Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl. It's gonna be like how to get through that block. The swim move.
And the subtitle could be, is this a good use of your energy?
Yeah.
Miss Michelle, do you have an Instagram or a Facebook?
I do. Both of them are Loving Me, Blocking Them on IG and Facebook.
Loving Me. I'm following you right now.
Can I ask your relationship status right now?
I'm single.
I know a nigga be like, I'm straight. She mad as hell already. Because for your Instagram to be like loving me, blocking him is like, I ain't even finna go there.
Actually,
she ain't even for the game. She not even for the games.
And why should she be?
But it's just like, damn, let a nigga in. But whoever get through, but whoever really put the energy in, it's gonna be worth the time.
And that's a real woman.
Isn't that what we all want?
Yes, that's a real woman.
I don't want that much of a fight.
Miss Michelle, it's loving them, blocking me.
Loving me, blocking them.
blocking them.
Because you know, my version of that Shell is the girls who put like Bible quotes in their bio. I'd be like, I'm about to tear this pussy up.
But see, then you're looking at it as a challenge.
Don't pay no attention to him.
You're looking for a challenge, not a relationship.
Lovey gonna look at me and she talking about using a nigga tears to wipe his feet with him. You don't get your ass out of here. Like you ain't on tip. Boy, Lovey, it's some hypocrites in here, Michelle.
Woo! But you know what? When you are my point, see, sometimes I feel like I love them, but I feel like sometimes they take things so literal. I'm saying that you can be that much in love with somebody. If I was truly, truly in love that much with somebody, I would do that for them.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote that poem about that nigga.
A guy told me years ago that he wanted to be so connected to his woman that if he licked his body, he could tell whether she was sick or well.
Oh, that's hard.
Yes.
You know, I mean, he really said that. And so there's some people who want that level of interconnectivity.
Yeah,
but a lot of people are afraid of that because that means they have to reveal who they are.
Exactly.
And they're not ready for that yet.
Right.
And they not. And you
and
know
I
what?
don't mind being vulnerable, and like I want intimacy. I don't mind being vulnerable.
You know my middle name is intimacy. And the thing that I like about, like, you know what I'm saying, about the whole thing is like I want to be so toxic that a girl make a poem about me.
But it's not
call it
toxic.
Shut up.
You know that poem. Hey, Michelle, see how it came full circle? That poem called him.
I see that.
And you see how she talking, she doing this because she's thinking about him.
I'm waiting for so I'm telling, so the point of the poem was I'm talking to my doctor.
Hey, block that nigga.
I'm talking to this the doctor, and she's telling me what's going on. And I'm telling her about what's going on with this guy. And then it reverses to him. I'm talking to him like how I can love him, but it's still some sexuality and some intimacy involved. But if you notice at the end, I'm telling him, we about to get so nasty and we about to get so sensual into our sexuality that you're going to be on your knees asking for forgiveness, holding the cross. That's why I said the Jesus piece.
He a drug dealer. He got a chain. Now listen, let me break the poem down for you, Michelle. And I'm going to let you go because I know it's late and you got author shit to do. You shouldn't even be fucking with us right now. The poem starts off her talking to her doctor. And then she meet up with Cuz, and Cuz just want to know, do we got anything? He ain't go get tested. She went and got tested. So now that she like, we good, he like, then I'm good. And now he like, can we get to that wild shit? And that's where it's at. So listen, Michelle, I thank you so much for coming on this podcast with this nonsense that we were talking. You are such a credible person and with your art form, and what you're doing is helping people, and it's amazing. And the fact that you even come on here and kick it with me and Kari and Lovey, I appreciate it. I know you want to do the other stuff, but I guess you got to come through here first. You know what I'm saying? Through the wild shit. And then you get to do the more credible stuff where politicians and all them be on it. I want everybody to go buy this book and give it to somebody you care about. Read it yourself. It's for everybody. She say 16 to 25, but I think end of the day, it's for whoever, definitely. 16 and up. You know what I'm saying? Should be reading this book and getting a hold to it because it's very important. I'm gonna buy a copy myself. Carl, we're gonna put the information up before she get out of here. If it's anything you want to close out with and say, and we're gonna let you go because we're gonna do a little bit more foolishness before we leave, and we ain't gonna hold you on here because
I wish I could.
No, we ain't gonna do
Can
it.
I
like
ask
that.
one more question?
I mean, if she up for it, I ain't tripping.
Miss Michelle, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, say you like somebody, right? And you scared to tell them. How do you tell somebody that you like them?
So actions speak louder than words. It's all about what you do, not about what you say.
Okay.
So you can tell somebody you love them and hit them upside the head. And so what you going to believe? What they're doing or what they're saying?
No, I'm saying, like, say you actually got a crush on somebody and you want to tell them, but you don't want it to be awkward.
I just believe in keeping it real.
Okay. Okay.
and be prepared for what the response may or may not be.
Okay. See, I never dealt with rejection, so
here we go.
I know we had a conversation a few weeks ago. I never I think I would be devastated if that person told me they don't like me.
What has he shown you any evidence that he likes you?
Kind of, but kind of not. Like kind of.
Why don't you ask some niggas? What's kind of and kind of not like? We can tell you if he like you. You gonna ask?
I mean, kind of flirty, but not real open with it.
Then you may want to wait a minute before you say something.
Okay.
Because you want to articulate your feelings based on what you see him. How is he reciprocating whatever energy you're giving to him?
Okay, so I gotta guess it. Okay.
And just pay attention. And if you don't see any evidence of it, then
Leave it
maybe
alone.
that's just not the one.
Okay.
Are you sure this guy has his piece?
What's that?
The piece, the shit that the other nigga was lacking.
What's the piece? What?
You were talking about having your peace. You didn't want anybody to disturb your peace. Your inner peace.
He kind of messy.
So
Red flag.
you clearly got a type.
What?
You got guys without no peace.
No.
So what's wrong with the boy that got us in front of you?
I mean, he talks shit, but it's not any real, nothing that would affect me, honestly.
Why do you like him?
My top 3 qualities in a man are respectful, confident, and sense of humor, and he has those 3 qualities.
Okay, so do you think maybe you should broaden your criteria? Because there are a lot of guys who have those 3 things.
That's true, but the men that I meet or the men that I'm around or see, when I say respectful, that takes it to a whole nother level. And a lot of men don't even know what respect is. So when I say respectful, I truly, truly mean respectful.
Is he emotionally accessible or emotionally available?
Oh, this deep. Can you break that down for somebody?
I don't know because I don't know him like that.
And that's why you have to give it time.
Okay.
What's emotionally accessible and emotionally available? I don't know if I said it right, but which one is it?
Okay, so when you are emotionally accessible, that means that you are open to being vulnerable and just being your true self. You're not trying to be overly protective of your heart as you move forward in getting to know someone.
Oh, so not Corey. Because girls, I'm telling you,
Why you put him on blast?
that's how they be.
Like
Girls be
Josh
like,
is
I done been over here. Girls be out here crying like, Corey, I love you. You be like, I gotta get this book done. I gotta do this podcast. I gotta do accounting. I love you though, Corey. Please be with me, bitch. I got to grow vegetables for the community. Like this nigga love the community, then he love the woman. So I don't be knowing what to say. It be so many women out here crying. They be like, Corey, I want to help you. He like, bitch, I don't need nobody to help me grow these vegetables. I've been doing it on my own.
Josh, you was
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
He's emotionally inaccessible.
If you are not emotionally accessible, then how are you going to really be able to be in relationship with someone else? And the flip side of that is that a lot of women aren't that either. We're not all because we're afraid of getting hurt.
Yeah. See,
we're comparing Jamal to Kari. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Kari isn't Jamal.
Right.
All right, Riri, I'm gonna leave me alone.
I feel like I'm ready for that.
You ready for
I feel
love?
like I've gave so much. I've put so much into my poetry, and I've told so much already as far as like telling it, but in my poetry, like having an outlet, basically.
But that's a safety zone for you too. You are expressing yourself openly, but not to one specific individual.
Right, exactly.
So you're letting folks know in general, this is where I am. But until you connect with somebody on an intimate level,
right,
with that, then you're still in a protective space.
Yes.
But my thing is, Lovey, like, do you deserve a high value man? Like, what's your dress size? Like, what was your GPA in high school? What kind of deodorant do you use?
Josh,
do you deserve to be loved?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who was that? Kevin Samuel.
High value man
said, what kind of deodorant you use? Secret. Use a dirty, raggedy. Y'all crazy. So again, Miss Michelle, is there anything you want to leave us on? I do not want to keep you all day. It's 10:30. We about to wrap up. Is it any closing words that you want to leave and impart on the people?
All I want to say is that wherever you go, you're always there. And if you don't deal with the reality of who you are, when you show up to the table, you might show up short. So just get into being at peace with yourself.
That's hard. That's hard. Well, I want to thank you for being on here again, like I said, and doing your thing, man. People, please go buy that book. I'm gonna make sure I buy a couple copies myself. And you have a great night.
You too. Thank you for having me, and let's do it again. Y'all got any more questions? Just hit me up.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much, man. I just feel so enlightened and just, man. Thank you so much, Miss Michelle.
There you go.
You are welcome. Look forward to seeing y'all another time. Be peaceful.
All right now.
Okay.
Yeah, block that nigga, Lovey.
Stop, Josh.
Block that nigga. I ain't even gonna do.
I don't need to block nobody.
I'm gonna save the where the hoes at. I'm gonna say that one because I kind of did some shit like that similar last week. But I would like to do the song of the day, which I feel like has something to do with the topic. If you could put the lyrics up to Runaway by Kanye West. I was listening to that song on the way over here, and I feel like it touched my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to what he's talking about here, like being to the situation, like I've learned that you kind of gotta allow people the room and the space to take care of themselves and like do what's best for them. Like even if you think you's best for them after you've done somebody dirty, you kind of gotta give people the space to be who they is and grow. And whatever it's gonna be is gonna be. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a couple lines I said. I want to see you happy if you're not with me. That's Mace. You know what I'm saying? But this Runaway really hit me in a spot right here because Kanye really talking. You know what I'm saying on here? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the song, like it's weird. And that's why I had to ask, was I a narcissist? Because it sounds like a lot of times them relationships don't work because people be narcissists. Like it's more about them than it is them. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a toast to the douchebags, have a toast to the assholes, scumbags, everyone that I know, the jerk offs. Let's go down. She found a picture in my email. I sent this bitch a picture of my dick. How many times have we been here, fellas? Well, you done sent the dick pic off and your girl seen it and you had no way to explain it. And you got to be like, I was just playing. It was a dare. It's like, nigga, you 30 years old. Why the fuck is you daring people and losing? Hold on. Let's say, I don't know what it is with females, but I'm not too good with that shit. See, I could have me a good girl and still be addicted to them hood rats. Corey, put the camera on yourself. Because you know what it is. Shout out to DSW. You know what I'm saying?
DSW.
Just something me and my nigga on.
Really?
And I just blame everything on you. At least you know that's what I'm good at. A lot of times, man, we take what's going on with our relationships and we project and we twist it around and put it on the other person. And I'm getting to a space where I'm better at recognizing like, no, man, you fucked up. No, nigga, you going real fast. Like it was a lot more I want to hit here. And I've learned to be like, nah, nigga, take the accountability and be like, no, nigga, you fucked up. Regardless of what she did, you did this first. It's cause and reaction. You know what I'm saying? Cause and effect. You caused this. So in effect, this is what happened. So back up, my boy. Stick to them hood rats. I blame anything you know I'm good at, and I always find myself something wrong. You've been putting up with my shit for way too long. I'm so gifted at finding what I don't like the most. So I think it's time to have a toast. Yeah, man, that's really what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Going back to the book, loving me and blocking you. Sometimes you have to do that for yourself, and you got to allow people to do that. You can't be trying to create pages and reach out through different ways and do different weird things like that. You got to let people grow. And if it's like, I don't believe in shit not working if it don't work the first time. Maybe sometimes it'll come back around. You got to let people grow to be who they are. And when Kari said, if we together for a year and we was happy and it didn't work out, it don't mean that it didn't work. It just meant right now, that season we was in, you've changed, I've changed. Maybe when we come back around and we grow and evolve more, we'll be even better, and it'll be better than it was that first year. So that's the song I want to.
It's so trippy that you saying this to the guys of a Kanye West song, and right now all his actions are definitely leading to some of the most wild versions.
But this is where we at, cuz I mean,
you know, that's his wife.
Synchronicity.
I feel like he loved her so much.
I believe he do. I think he
really do.
Do he love her, or is his ego bruised?
And then when you have children with somebody, that's a different type of love, you know.
That's true.
You can't just walk away from a marriage and they got 4 kids.
Yeah.
You know, it's
all right, wait.
You know,
time out. Some of them kids.
What you mean?
Okay, of those kids, how many of those kids you really think is theirs?
All of them.
Because she bared all. I thought she bared like 1 or 2 of them kids.
No, she had
4 with him.
Okay,
and it was quick to me too.
And she carried all of those.
To my knowledge, she carried all 4.
Yeah.
Because I ain't no telling with Kanye West if it would have been
like some surrogate type shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I thought, but this is the crazy part. I thought they had
pregnant.
2 kids, and then they was like, somebody's like, nigga, they got 4. Like I was like, when did I not hear about 4? But
she was just getting pregnant back to back to back.
They got 4 kids.
Yeah, they definitely look like him and her.
Yeah, they do. But I mean, I get what Kari's saying, but I know what you're saying, Lovey. So I think he really hurt, and I think his ego might be bruised more than anything. I think he really doesn't want to see her with anybody else. But that's the thing, being a man, like you have to. Once you get out of somebody being a possession, you can just love them for who they was. Like we had our time together, and if she kicking with somebody else, you got to move on because nigga, you doing your thing.
And I don't think she like Pete Davidson like that. I think that's a play thing. I think she's having fun. She is not trying to be with Pete Davidson the rest of her life.
She gonna end up with a white nigga. Kim Kardashian is an open book when it comes to talking about the surrogacy process she used for her youngest 2 children. The mother of 4 welcomed daughter North and son sank naturally, but due to health complications, used surrogates for her 2-year-old daughter, Chicago, and 8-month-old son, Psalms.
Yeah, but they still theirs though. They still
because
have
it's
four.
the egg, and then it's his sperm inside of the person. Right?
Yeah.
And what I'm
It's
saying with
still-
these
yeah,
celebrities
it's still
and
4 of them.
anything to do with both of them, it could all be,
Smoking
like
mirrors.
some old, the Kardashian season 7 when they going down and they find out like, okay, this ain't Kanye's seed or this ain't her egg. It's actually Madonna's egg, and I don't know, or you know what I'm saying? Like I guess when I think of
Josh, you
them,
gotta. I'm saying,
I
Josh,
don't know.
Carl, you gotta think for the best.
But I
I'm
get
just
what you're
saying with
saying.
them,
I
I
don't
just
wanna-
think everything. I mean, it's like I don't know if this whole Pete
It's
Davidson
just a,
thing
you
is
mean
some
like a
hype
whole
beast stuff.
charade, like
I mean,
a whole,
he started a church. He ran for president. He said Donald Trump's my father. Everything in the whole Kardashian family seems to
Right.
be a hype beast type shit.
Everything
so, I don't know.
everything is media driven for clicks. So I wouldn't be surprised, like he said.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We looked up and they was like, no, this is really Chloe egg, and
Yeah.
this baby is Lamar Odoms and some shit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
and it'd be like
that's
like I
true.
mean, imagine the
just
the
for
season
for
of the
media.
Kardashian
You mean like for social media?
show.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it would be on their reality show,
Right.
the biggest bombshell. If that happened, you know how Twitter would.
And Kanye crying, he's like, "What do
Right.
you mean it's not my baby?" And
Right.
his baby left hand, it can hoop a little bit.
Right.
and it'd be some wild.
But he
shit.
really does suffer from mental illness, right?
Yeah, he got something
Yeah.
going on with him for sure.
Yeah.
But like he said, just to even rewind it, like I wouldn't be surprised if Kanye was playing the biggest trick of all time.
Yeah.
Because to be
That's
a nigga
true.
who thought enough of himself to film every minute of his life from the time he was 19 to now,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this nigga was like, I don't give a fuck about this bitch. My ego hurt, and now I'm gonna play into all of this shit. So that way everybody is thinking and talking about me. He loved Barnum and Bailey, and then all he used to do was like Barnum and Bailey used to do nothing but wild ass stunts to get people to come out. What if this is the biggest trick in the world? And Kanye, like, I'm finna fuck them at their own game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
You know
it's
what?
like this is
I
the
just-
Kardashian play, so it's like it's almost like I would believe anything and everything. Like
Yeah.
even the whole Meg Thee Stallion getting shot at a Kardashian house is like,
The wild
you know what I'm saying? But it
Right.
makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It makes
Right. They want
sense.
that fame. So basically you
Everything
saying they want that fame
around-
so bad they will make up anything.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
associating like both, like I guess water finds its level or attracted, like any story with either one of them, it's like I don't know. Now, I think was I don't know if Beyonce they were saying barbershop talk was like that ain't really her baby. It's other like Gabrielle Union's. Well, damn, what's a surrogate? I think the surrogate situation does happen. And then I guess you can inform me. So basically, the egg is put into a younger woman, and the younger woman bears the child.
Not necessarily a younger woman, just a woman that can carry the baby in the most healthy state possible. Not
Like-
necessarily younger all the time.
Like just can do it. Like honestly, the
Right.
perfect surrogate be Kiki Wyatt, because that motherfucker, she can make a baby. If she can't do shit else, she can sing her ass off. If I needed a surrogate, I'm
she
putting
got
it
like
in.
9 kids, right?
Man,
Something like
she
that.
is
Yeah.
an incubator, my nigga. If you want a baby, put it in her. Kiki gonna put a baby out. She like an air fryer for babies. Them babies gonna come out.
It's so horrible.
On God. Shout out to Kiki Wyatt again. I love her. One of my favorite singers, one of the most talented singers in the world, and got to have the best pussy in the world. When God was giving out pussy, he was like, "Go and give her the Maybach pussy." Niggas gonna jump off in this. Kari hit her. She a speed. She about to have her 11th, my nigga. 11 kids.
She
nigga.
about to have another baby.
Yeah, she pregnant right now.
Who is
It
the
don't even
father?
matter. She got 11 kids.
Oh my god!
And when you have 11
I mean-
kids, you have a spectrum of them all. I think she got a gay son. She got a stud. She got a short baby, a tall baby, small one. One of them is Filipino. Like, and then she didn't even fuck a Filipino nigga. She had a whole spectrum of babies. Shout out to Kiki White. I love her. Hopefully she don't
Shut
spaz. She seemed like, and she stabbed a nigga before. So she really about that shit. So I got love for you, Kiki. These is all. I got mad love for you. I'll beat a nigga ass behind you. Everything I love. But you know, again, love yourself, block that nigga. Love you. This was about you.
No, it was not.
Did you
I
see
don't
the
even-
love in her eyes when she was talking about that nigga Kari?
I did not.
We all seen it.
any-
Kari looked at it.
No, they didn't see anything. Okay, it was a question.
Because you was like, but I mean, just like I really like him. and
Um,
you named 2 flags, and then she said no. Then you was like, but I did not see another flag. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right,
Don't
right.
hide flags.
No.
You don't hide a flag. Like, oh yeah, but I got this flag. Like, what the fuck you hide flags for? To put all this shit on the table so we can say fuck this
Right.
nigga.
No, because I feel like depending on the personality and the character of the person, you know, depending on how hot the level of the red flag, if that makes sense, everybody's going to have something wrong with them. Nobody is going to be 100%. So depending on what you want to deal with, or what you can or have, not have to. Nobody has to deal with anything, but depending on what you want to deal with, you have to make a decision when it comes to determining that person, that if you really want them in your life like that.
But it's like, I mean,
and I was just being honest with her, like, these are the 3 things that I seen. And
but why is it degree? Why is it degrees to red flags? Why is it like?
No, I just feel like it's 3 flat. It's like three strikes and you out. It's not cheating or nothing. We're not in a relationship. This is somebody that I really, I had a crush on, that I liked. It didn't get that serious. It never got to that point because I made the right decision.
Go ahead and block him right now so we can see it right here.
It's nobody to block. It's nothing to block.
You don't talk to that nigga no more?
I didn't say I didn't talk to him, but I mean, he's okay. He's cool. I don't have nothing to, like.
But you should block him because he's not no good for you. Like, what you need him around for?
No, it's no love lost. It's no love gain. Like, I don't have an issue with him or anything.
All right, man. We're gonna end this podcast so we can talk her out of this. I feel like it's getting serious, and I don't want to do this live. I feel like I'm embarrassing her, and I don't want to do that because it's not my place to do that. I live my life on this podcast. I really shouldn't, but I do, especially at this part of the night. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
Oh, what I got going on? Hey, for the people that's still on here, the 26, man, you can catch me. Let me pull this up because the promoter tried to get with me like I wasn't promoting the show. So shout out to you, Big Mike. This nigga trying to play me like I ain't promoting my shit. Talking about some, did you lose the post? Nigga, no, I've been promoting it. Niggas be killing me, boy. It's the Comedy Smash, man. It's gonna be at the North Room up in Walled Lake, 3000 East West Maple Road, man. Doors at 7. Dinner at 7:30, showtime at 9 p.m. You got me, you got Mike Leary, you got my dog Mike McDaniel, and you got Simply Chanel. This show gonna be off the goddamn chain. So if you're not doing nothing, you need to come through on Saturday and fuck with your boy out in Wall Lake. It's nice out there. Police ain't really tripping like that. Just come out there and fuck with us. And if you did get pulled over, my nigga, that's on you. You shouldn't be out there on that bullshit. But come fuck with us. That boom, boom, boom. I got something going Friday, but that's a private event, so y'all can't come to that. Lovey, you got some shit coming up?
You just still attending my still going to my open mics. Make sure you guys support me. It's it takes time when you if you a poet, a comedian, you got to get your foot in the door. It just takes time. So I'm just taking my time. Just support me at my open mics. And just follow me on Instagram, LovieDove _83 and Nadia LovieDove on Facebook.
Y'all follow Lovey on there, dog. All right, what's going on with you, black man?
Man, same old, same old. We got a couple projects coming up in the works, but Detroit is different. Glad this interview went well. All's good.
Magnificent, man. Listen, man, thank y'all for tapping in again. Share. Who?
Tell them about the book.
Buy the book. Buy the book. If nothing, if you don't get nothing else of this, make sure y'all buy that book, man. Even if you don't need it, give it to somebody who might need it. And it's a good read. I'm thinking now you should just grab anything and read it because you can learn something from anything, man. So grab that book. Like and subscribe, man. Share this shit with people so they can see it. I'm not a good self-promoter, but hey, if you can help, do it. It don't matter how many people you follow, it's gonna benefit us all in the end. And again, man, thank y'all. And shout out to Juwan Howard. Like I said, man, the last 5 days of this month, slap a white person that's out of line. Not no random motherfucker. But if they out of line, slap them. And they ain't got to be out of line towards you. They just got to be out of line. Slap them. Kari approved it. I did. Lovey with it. So only white people that's out of pocket, slap them. That's the movement for the rest of the year. They can't take us all to jail. The jails will get overpopulated. What they going to do? Keep us in there? They can be like, man, these niggas slapping people. We got to let these people out. Slap the shit out of people. White people. That's on bullshit. Right. That ain't racist. It's just you fucked up. Slap anybody that's on bullshit, but just for the rest of the year, white people. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. It's been a beautiful day, man. Y'all have a great night. Peace out. 100 shit. Rest in peace to my nigga Woo. Comedian died a long time ago. We don't even talk about him no more. Rest in peace, Woo.